We're back here with your next day of fantasy football news. We have two special guests here at the bar. Former member Epic, along with Double Sneezy. The Epicurean? No, that wasn't what it was called. What was the last name?
At one point I was Epicureans, yeah.
Yeah, that was years ago.
No,
what were you last year?
That was recent. Before that I was Deep Fried Squid and Double Trouble.
Well, now Double R has become the Ghost of Oil guy. So, what do you two want to talk about here for our video news?
I think we're going to argue who's the overall #1 pick in fantasy.
That's what everybody wants to know.
Well, we already had this with me and Chooch, and it came down to LaShawn McCoy versus Michael Vick in a very interesting debate. So try to chop that.
That's who's the #1 Eagle.
See that one? Chooch just froze up on camera. Awful.
I did not see it.
We'll watch it after this, but go ahead, Epic. Sound off.
It's got to be Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson.
Guy is consistent. Guy is not volatile. He's not a powder keg. And who else who's gonna score on that team? I couldn't even name a receiver on that team right now.
Well, what if the team just doesn't score? Because you know who the #1 pick's gotta be? It's gotta be Arian Foster. He's coming back. He's in a better situation than he was last year. The offensive line looks good. The team looks good. Nothing's changed.
That team is a pass-first team. Matt Schaub gonna pass the ball to Andre Johnson,
Well, what happened last
Owen
year?
Daniels, Jacoby Jones. Oh, they locked themselves into Foster. Foster wasn't even the top of the depth chart at the beginning of preseason. It was Ben Tate, a rookie out of Auburn. Where did that get them?
Ben Tate's injured once again. He's probably not going to play again this season. He might even get cut.
What about Foster's hamstring? What about his hamstring? He didn't play on Monday night. What about his hamstring?
Foster's fine. Let's look down the depth chart. The 3 running backs behind Foster are all injured. So nobody can run the damn ball besides Foster. Foster had like about 2,000 yards total, had tons of receptions because we're talking about a PPR league, but a crazy touchdown totals. You can't beat that. There's no reason to think that the young, 24-year-old Arian Foster is gonna go backwards this year. But for Peterson, offensive line's getting older. Peterson's gonna break down eventually. What do you have to say?
I think this season for Foster is going to be a fluke. Foster begins with F, fluke begins with F.
Okay, all right. We've heard a bunch. Let's get in the closing arguments. We'll start with Rich, and then Epic will finish up.
All right. With Foster, you're talking about the best back in football last year. No reason to think he's gonna be worse this year. Even if say he's.
There's no way he could be better than this.
Cut him down.
There is no way he's.
Let's let him finish.
He doesn't need to be better. He could be worse and still lead the league in fantasy points. Go ahead.
All right, Epic, your closing remarks.
There's no way Foster's going to be better this year than he was last year. There's going to be a regression. There has to be a regression. Peterson's consistent. There's historical data that proves my points. Boom.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. If you think Epic won the argument or Rich won the argument, go ahead and leave it in the comments section.